Looking forward to that. The Senate taking a major step forward on a bipartisan gun bill almost exactly a month after the horrific shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Senators voting to break a filibuster, which means a final vote could start as early as tonight. The bill would expand background checks and boost funding for mental health, school safety, and red flag laws, among other things. This would be the most significant action on gun reform in decades if it can pass both chambers. Joining us now is Texas Senator John Cornyn, one of the authors of the bipartisan bill. Senator, good to finally have you on this.
Thank you.
There is a split in the Republican Party. 14 Republican senators voted to advance the bill. 34 voted against it. In the House, you've got Steve Scalise whipping votes against this. Yet at the same time, Mitch McConnell says this is a good bill. Listen to how he put it.
This time is different. This time, the Democrats came our way and agreed to advance some common sense solutions without rolling back rights for law-abiding citizens. The result is a product I'm proud to support.
Common sense solutions without rolling back rights for law-abiding citizens, a product I'm proud to support. That from Mitch McConnell. What do you say, Senator?
Well, I think he's right. You know, Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, and I have worked before on this very difficult issue. And I think in a way that improved the national instant criminal background check system and saved lives in the end. And I think that's what we're focused on here. And you mentioned the components of this. Not only does it include enhanced background checks for a cohort of 18 to 21-year-old gun buyers to make sure that we're not missing things that would demonstrate that they are actually disqualified under current law from purchasing a firearm, but the largest investment in community-based mental health care that we've ever made in American history, as well as making our schools safe. No parent wants to send their child to school fearful for their safety, and no student ought to have to go to school and be afraid. And that's what this bill addresses.
You know, there are some Republicans, including former President Trump, who are ripping this and ripping you as well. Here's what the president put out on Truth Social. He said, the deal on gun control currently being structured and pushed in the Senate by the radical left Democrats with the help of Mitch McConnell, Rhino Senator John Cornyn of Texas, and others will go down in history as the first step in the movement to take your guns away. Republicans, be careful what you wish for. I want to get you to respond to that, but also the fact that after the 2018 Parkland shooting, President Trump was supportive of red flag laws and even publicly supported raising the age to buy an AR-15 style rifle from 18 to 21.
Yeah, this is a difficult topic to talk about in a rational and insane sort of way, because all this name calling and the like I don't think is particularly productive. I'm a proud supporter of the Second Amendment. I think the way it was described, this bill, is that it does not infringe on the rights of law-abiding gun owners. They're not the problem. I'm not the problem as a gun owner. But people who do have mental health problems and people who should not have them because of criminal background checks, we're trying to figure a way to keep those out of the hands of people who could be harmed to themselves and others. At the same time, we want to make sure they have access to mental health care. This young man in Uvalde was literally circling down the drain from a psychological standpoint, and obviously not only took the lives of others, he took his own life in the process. And we'd like to try to find some way to intervene to stop that before it occurs again.
So let me ask you this question. So is there anything in this bill that would restrict a law-abiding citizen from purchasing a firearm?
No.
Simple no. No gray areas, nothing that would restrict somebody who I mean, maybe the background check shows something that they didn't know was in their background, but is specious. You're saying that absolutely there's nothing in this bill that would restrict a law-abiding citizen from getting access to a firearm.
That's correct. If you go in and you pass a national instant criminal background check, you're entitled to receive that firearm immediately under the law, and nothing here would restrict that. Now, in the case of 18 to 21-year-olds, what happened in this case in Uvalde is this young man, which everybody knew he was a ticking time bomb, had a whole host of problems. But when he turned 18, it's as if he was born yesterday, and he was able to pass a background check because there was no insight into possible disqualifications that would have occurred if he had been an adult. So that's the area we're focusing on because the profile has become all too familiar.
The sentiment of American voters appears to be with you, Senator. Fox News poll, people were asked, do you believe tougher gun laws would reduce the number of U.S. mass shootings? 56% of people said yes. 39% of people said no. If Republicans can't come together in the wake of a tragedy like Uvalde and do something to fix this, what does that say about where the party at large is compared to where American public sentiment is?
Well, John, I think that's one of the questions that we are trying to answer, because I think a lot of people are questioning whether our institutions, including the federal government itself, can actually function, whether we can try to find that common ground where it does exist. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the most important thing you can say as an elected official is no. But I think this cries out for a solution. Unfortunately, they're not easy to come by. It takes a lot of work and good faith on both sides. But I think we've threaded the needle away in a way that protects the right of law-abiding citizens, but tries to get at the root of the problem that produced this shooting in Uvalde and has produced similar shooting elsewhere, and I think ultimately will save lives. And to me, that's the ultimate test.
We'll be watching this closely, Senator, to see how it progresses through the Senate and then in the House. Senator John Cornyn of the great state of Texas, thanks for being with us. Appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.